What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Second Avenue Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Linares.
I'm your other host, Elijah Venencia. If you're watching on YouTube, we got a special guest back here. We got the boy BG, Brennan Granados.
It's good to be back, to be honest. It's been a while, almost a year, I think, or a little over since I've been on. And I've been excited ever since the last episode. I've been looking forward to the next one. I knew I was going to come back. I think we all did. And I'm happy to be here for real.
Great to have you back. You're basically the first ever two-time guest. We'll throw an asterisk there. Lauren made a loose appearance on 2 episodes. She had her 1 episode with our cousin Sammy, and then she made an appearance talking about Taylor Swift for a quick couple minutes. So technically she's the first two-time guest, but you're the first with 2 full episodes. So it's great to have you back. The last episode kind of went crazy. I think it was one of our best episodes. I think we, chopped it up nicely. 2018 bracketed. For those of you who have not seen that one, go check that one out. 2018, great year. We talked about a lot of good songs. So I think today, we got a bar we got to live up to, but I'm sure we're going to do it. I'm excited to get into things today.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited to have Brennan back. And this is a perfect weekend as well. Shout out your veterans. We got a veteran right next to me here. So shout out Brennan for that. And he's back now. He's a veteran now. He's no longer active duty, so he could be a recurring guest here. He could be guest starring.
So. I'm gonna be around, boys. I'm gonna be around. I appreciate the love, though. Of course, appreciate the love.
I think we just get into things today, guys.
Let's do it.
If you guys watch every week, sometimes we do songs of the week. Typically, we end with news. This week, just straight bracket. You see the title, Best Rapper of the Last Decade. We debated, are we going Best Rapper of the 2010s or the last 10 years, so the most recent decade, and we're ultimately going with the most recent decade, the past 10 years, not the 2010s. So 2013 to 2023. We got a bracket off Bracket Fights online, so we didn't pick these rappers, so don't blame us if you're mad at these matchups, but I'm very excited to get into this. It's going to be a hot topic to decide, who is going to be the best rapper of the decade. I think there's some clear front runners, but who knows? We got some underdogs here that might make a run. We'll see.
Yeah, and me and Jonathan, whenever we do the brackets, we usually just have to go back and forth on who gets the pick to go through. This time we kind of have a tiebreaker, so if 2 of us are agreeing here, we got the third to break that up, or if we're 2 are splitting rather than.
All right, let's get into it. We shuffled up the seating off this pre-made bracket, so it might look a little bit different than yours. If you're playing along, it's going to be in the description on the YouTube video for today's episode, so play along. Let us know who wins, who makes your final 4. Be a lot of different variations depending on how your bracket goes. Let's get into it. The first matchup, we got Denzel Curry versus J. Cole.
That's rough for Denzel.
Yeah,
That's a rough start.
This is one Brennan was saying, I don't know if Denzel should have made it. I feel like he's been pretty consistent. Obviously he didn't make it, less of, earlier for the 2013. Up until when did he start blowing up a little bit more? I'd say
2016.
Yeah. So, but obviously this is just not a good matchup. J. Cole, you got from Born Center on. I think he's watching a lot of people on this list. Yeah. So that I think we are all in agreement there.
Yeah, all in agreement. But Denzel, no slouch.
Denzel. Yeah.
No, yeah.
You can't just knock him.
Yeah, he's had a lot of good projects over the past couple of years, but we're talking about Jermaine, so he's got to move on. Next matchup here. This is an interesting one. We got JID versus Joey Badass. I think this is a pretty even matchup here.
Yeah, I like this matchup, to be honest. 2 kind of different, styles a little bit. JID really heavy on the bars, you never know what he's going to say. And Joey Badass, no slacker on the bars. He can always come ready to say something. But I think Joey just kind of has a little more flowy, vibey way that I like to his songs. Obviously like Devastated and Temptation, songs like that everybody knows. I feel like you can play those anywhere and people will, nod their heads to him. Whereas JID, that's more of a unique taste, when it comes to music. Like not many people might like it. But so I think Joey Badass kind of edges him out here a little bit, just a little bit to me.
I'm going with JID.
I'm also rocking with JID, and I just had to clarify to see when 1999 came out. That was 2012. If we're including that in including that in 2013, I think it gives Joey Badass the bump.
Same.
But the Never story, the Forever story, which has grown on me. We haven't really talked about it since last year, but I mean, I don't think Joey Badass has a project as good as those two.
Exactly what I was gonna say. JID has the best album when you combine their discographies with the Forever Story. If we're talking 1999, then we have a conversation, but we're not talking 1999 today. So I got to go JID. Joey, again, great rapper. Every rapper on this, for the most part, is a great rapper. We'll get into some that we maybe don't think so, but basically everybody's very solid, very good. They're stars for a reason. I love Joey, one of my favorite artists, but 1999 is my favorite from him. We're excluding that today because it's out in the past decade. So yeah, shout out to JID. He's moving on here. Next match, he'll go up against J. Cole. We'll get into that in a little bit though. Next matchup here, we got ASAP Rocky versus Drake.
This is gonna be a wash for Drake for me. I mean, we had just talked about it last time. So he'll have Long Live ASAP, Testing, and am I missing one there for?
And At Long Last ASAP.
Okay, there we go. And yeah, I mean, Drake has been very, very consistent. I mean, you're still getting that top tier rapping Drake. You got Nothing Was the Same Drake. You got If You're Reading This, It's Too Late Drake. And then you're still throwing in Views, Scorpion, albums like that where although they may not be the best rap abilities, you have, I mean, just great projects there overall. So,
how you feeling, BG?
we all know I'm not a big fan of Drake. We all know this, but you can't deny, Drake's success, in the music industry. He's got more slaps than the Beatles, for real. Like, that's just what he does. He doesn't miss. He really doesn't. And even though it may not be my cup of tea, I can admit that over their careers, Drake has probably been better, all around. So Drake's just kind of got to take it. But I love ASAP. I really do. He's got such an interesting sound. You never know what he's going to put out. And it's always exciting to listen to. So, but Drake's going to have to take it if we're being real.
It's going to be tough to put out, somebody like Drake because he's had so much activity. Yeah. He's got something for everybody on here. So,
yeah, Drake basically has a project almost every year. It feels like from this past decade, he's got so many. So, I will say Drake's moving on for sure. Obviously, even if I would have went Rocky, Drake's still moving on to be 2-1. But I love those Rocky projects. Drake, to me, in this past decade, only has two really, really good projects. Nothing Was the Same. And If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. And I do love Long Live ASAP, At Long Last ASAP. So I'll take the two Drake ones above the two Rocky ones, but that's closer. But Drake just has so much more material that obviously it's going to be Drake here. And even on like a bad Drake project, I say bad, loosely, whatever, he's going to have hits. He's going to have good songs. So yeah, it's going to be Drake, but I do love Rocky.
Yeah, respect to Rocky here. I feel like it just comes down to activity here. Once again, you just have a lot more to dissect from Drake there. So
for sure. Next matchup here, we got Kodak Black versus Travis Scott.
Man, I was kind of hating on Kodak, thinking he shouldn't even be on this list, but I like him way more than I like Travis personally.
Really?
Don't get me wrong. Personally, this is just a personal preference thing. Travis is a great artist for sure. Great sounds. Some of the littest songs you'll ever hear. Come on in the club, everyone's gonna go crazy to him. But Kodak is just, man, he's legit, man. He's the king of Florida. He doesn't miss down there. He does what he wants for real.
So this is someone. Yeah, this is someone along with Denzel Curry, where Brennan was like, "Why are they on this list?" But I respect having Kodak.
I think he just hates Florida rappers.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No, yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting as well. But I mean, to kind of piggyback on that, there, like, if we're talking hit for hit, Kodak. I mean, he's going up against a lot of these guys. We're not talking hit for hit. We're talking, full bodies of work here.
Yeah.
And
everything.
Yeah. Travis Scott, I mean, if you're putting together an album, there's not very many people putting together a better album than him. I mean, you look at his track record, see what he's got. They're all very complete. So, and along with the hits, he has hits too. So
I can just think of so many times over the years where Kodak has been playing in an important time in my life rather than Travis. So he's sitting the bench for me on this one, but I understand where you boys are coming from.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going Travis here as well. Kodak, though, I mean, he's had multiple hits. I feel like, every year he kind of pops up with a pretty big song, or, every couple of years, from No Flock and all the way more recently with Super Gremlin. I mean, he's just kind of been relevant for this past decade for, almost all of it, probably since 2015, 16. So yeah, it's going to be Travis though. When we compare bodies of work, Kodak has nothing on the level of Rodeo, Astroworld, or Birds. So it's like,
nah, he doesn't.
It's a pretty easy matchup.
Yeah,
here.
Utopia.
Or Utopia, yeah. So yeah, very easily Travis here. Let's get the next matchup. This is a good one. No pun intended. We got Pusha T versus Kanye West.
Dang, this is a heater, man. This is a heater. But I mean, me personally, from the bat, hearing those two names, I'm obviously going to Ye. I just, it's a hard decision to make for sure. But it's the right one to make. Like, let's be real. When we're talking bodies of work, like you guys were just saying, who does it better than Kanye? Obviously he may have had some slips here and there with some albums that we may not always go back to, but overall the quality that he's been putting out for the last 10 years, if we're talking album artist of the decade, Kanye is going to be up there no matter what. And I don't think he's getting shut out this soon, even if it's against a monster like Pusha T.
Yeah, Pusha T, he's killed it. Especially I feel like his popularity's only grown since 2018 with Daytona. He's just consistently been putting in work for, decades truly, but I feel like more recently he's getting that appreciation and that love. But Kanye, we're getting into some of the weaker points of his career.
Yeah.
This is not his best decade by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still better than so many other people's last decade. So yeah, it's easily Kanye here, but I do love what Push has been doing.
Yeah. It's a little tighter than I expected, really thinking on it, because we got Yeezus, The Life of Pablo, which obviously that's gonna be the best album out of any of the other albums we're discussing here. But then, Ye, okay, but Donda, Jesus King, you're losing me a little bit there. But what really pushes it over for me is there's no Daytona without Kanye West. So
true.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Okay, Kanye West moves on. Next matchup here. Danny Brown versus Tyler the Creator.
Man, I think Danny Brown's trash. I have never once had Danny Brown in my ears and been like, this shit's fire.
I'm not gonna like that.
It's just not for me, man. It's just not. And it's cool, I get it. You probably wouldn't have a lot of these rappers now without Danny Brown. He's probably been a big inspiration to a lot of people or whatever, but it's Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator's like journey through music from like all the way back to when he was making Goblin and like Bastard and stuff now to what he's putting to his most recent stuff out. It's been a crazy transformation in how he makes music. And I've loved being a part of it. I've loved having each new album coming out with a brand new sound. I've never been more excited to listen to an artist than when Tyler's about to drop, because you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. You guys definitely know my feelings. I'm not a huge Tyler guy, but what is it? It's Wolf and On. That would be,
yeah.
So that'd be what, Flower Boy,
Igor, yeah, Cherry Bomb as well.
So, he may be the best artist of the past decade. We're gonna get into this, but he's got a really, really strong claim at that, just with those albums there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it'll definitely be an interesting matchup with him and Kanye next round. He's moving on, of course. Danny Brown, though, he's like a sneaky, like 12 seed. This is a 12-5, NCAA tournament matchup. He's that team that plays in a small conference, but they've been just dogging everybody they play. They got seniors, a little UCSB or one of those random stuff.
Iona,
Burham, yes, one of those teams. He definitely could have upset somebody some of these years, but yeah, he's not upsetting Tyler the Creator today. Tyler moves on. Next matchup here, we got Vince Staples versus Lil Uzi Vert.
Man, Lil Uzi's probably bigger, in the face of the public, but let's be real. Vince Staples is going on a tear with his last few albums, an absolute tear. Nothing but good work from him. It's so hard to deny like how far he's come and just what he's putting out. I said this to Elijah not too long ago. I don't understand how he's not bigger. It doesn't make sense how he's not blowing up.
It was me. I thought it was Jonathan and I had this conversation. I'm glad Brennan brought that up, because he's got like every aspect of an artist who should be a mega star,
100%.
not a middle tier B guy, like a lower tier A guy, or even middle to top there. He's got a great personality, puts out great tracks, versatility, everything there. So he's gonna be good in this scenario here since 2013.
Yeah, I think he's a super interesting guy to have in this pick having this bracket for sure. I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely Vince here for me as well. Uzi, you basically get his whole discography, and he's had a lot of hits. He's had pretty good projects, but Vince, his projects are just on another level to me. His ability is on another level to me. And yeah, like you guys were saying, he's had a lot of good albums, you know, over the past couple years, but he's also early in the decade. I mean, Summertime 06, even the Stolen Youth LP, he's been killing it since basically the start of the decade, since the 2013 year. He's really been coming on strong, and even stronger the last couple of years. So yeah, gotta be Vince here.
I gotta throw in my last. I'm not a huge. I don't think Uzi should have made this list because I mean, from 2017, 2018 on, he has not done. I mean, anything too crazy. I feel like these albums have really always have sky high expectations, and for me personally, they don't deliver. So
yeah, he's always gonna have good song, like some pretty big hits though. So I mean, he's a star, so he's got to be on the list. But I get where you're coming from. Next matchup here, Kendrick Lamar versus Earl Sweatshirt.
I mean, I don't even think it's difficult. Like, if we're being real, it's really not difficult, but it just hurts to kind of just shove Earl off to the side, like from the go. It's just it hurts me a little bit, but it just kind of is what it is. Because Earl's never going to be big. He's never going to blow up. He's never going to be a superstar or anything like that, but it doesn't take away from what he's putting out. He has his own unique way of making music, and every single time it just becomes more unique. And you're like, wow, I didn't even know you could spit bars like this, or I don't know how his flow's even going on this, on the beats that he does, because they're always so interesting. They're always so different. And that's just something you're going to always be able to appreciate from Earl. But on the same side, Kendrick does that times 11. He just does it way bigger and better when he does it.
Yeah.
This is I mean, it's Kendrick Lamar. I'm not to say Earl Sweatshirt's a 16 seed.
Yeah.
But Kendrick Lamar is undoubtedly a high one seed.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
100%. I love Earl. I think Earl has some of the best projects of the last decade, but so does Kendrick. Kendrick with Butterfly, with Good Kid, Mad City. Oh, was it 2012?
No,
2013.
Yeah, 2012.
Okay, so we don't get that. We just get To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, Untitled Unmastered, and Mr. Morale, which is still a very strong output. And even, I guess, we'll count Black Panther as well. Yeah, so I do love Good Kid, Mad City, obviously, but To Pimp a Butterfly, that's going to be my one. I know you feel different. We talked about that a little while back.
We did.
But Kendrick is still the king until somebody knocks him off, and we'll see if that's going to happen today or it's not. We'll see later, though. He's going to be moving on. Next matchup, we're getting into round 2 here. We got the Dreamville matchup, J. Cole versus JID.
It's J. Cole, pretty convincingly for me. I mean, once again, I mean, no hate to JID, but he's missing nearly 4 years there of
activity.
Yeah, I get. I mean, J. Cole had Born Center in 2014. Yeah, Forest Hills Drive as well in between that time. So I feel like that really pushes him over. I mean, props to JID though.
Yeah, but let's just be real. JID is the little bro to J. Cole. Let's be real. It's his little nephew. He's trying to mold JID into something great for Dreamville already.
And he is.
100%.
Oh, yeah, he's taking that torch.
100%. He's filling that role just like he needs to be, but he's not ready to step in those shoes. He's just not. He's not big dog yet. So
yeah, definitely J. Cole here. JID really been delivering very solid music with all his projects for the past couple of years, but J. Cole has that longevity advantage of the whole decade. So it's got to be him. And I do agree. It's kind of the same thing as like the Pusha T and Kanye. There is no Daytona without Kanye. There's no JID without J. Cole. So gotta have Cole move on here. Next matchup, we got the Sicko Mode Boys, Drake versus Travis Scott.
Give me Travis Scott.
Wow. That's not what I expected to hear, Drake, to be honest. I didn't expect to hear that.
I'm a huge Drake guy, obviously. I think you can argue nothing was the same versus Astroworld, but then what about, I don't think Drake has an album as good as Birds past that. I don't think he has an album as good as Utopia. I mean, Utopia, okay, that's Rodeo. There we go.
Yeah.
Travis Scott has very, very good projects. I've always been on that. He is a elite project maker. I love Drake. I obviously, I don't know. It's such a tough decision. I mean, I'm really trying to think. Like
it's tough.
Nothing was the same. If you're reading This Is Too Late, and What a Time to Be Alive. What nearly elite project does Drake have outside of that? The full body of work.
I mean, the closest thing, in my opinion, I guess, would be Views.
But I'm thinking more of it in a rap perspective as well. I'm kind of trying to get away from, the one dances, the hotline blings, because
True.
I don't think it hold very much weight in this bracket, to me at least.
Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of good hits on Scorpion too. Again, kind of poppy. This is a tough one. I do want to go Travis as well. I definitely prefer Travis's music from the past decade. I think I would say Rodeo is better than any Drake album we've gotten in the past decade. It's close between Rodeo and, Nothing Was the Same, and If You're Reading Since Too Late as well. But I think I would lean Rodeo. And then I do agree here that Birds and Astroworld are both at that level or better. So Travis, got to go with him here. Tough. It's a tough one.
Yeah, this is a shocking one. I mean, if I wouldn't have thought about it, thinking about this list over the weekend or whatever, I mean, initially my first thought's Drake, but I mean, you really sit down and look at the bodies of rap work, and Travis got a lot of crazy trap influence there as well. So
yeah, I'm going Travis for sure. I think this pick was for you boys for sure. I didn't really have a crazy opinion on this one, but I think you boys said it the best it could be said. I think Travis, you made a real good case for the man, so I'm gonna go ahead and take him.
Yeah, that was a surprising one. I truly thought Drake.
I'm baffled that Drake is getting kicked out right now.
Drake is a 1 seed as well, so
I can't believe.
I'm surprised.
Just to close it off, it really comes down. There's no Take Care here. You don't have his best album here, so
exactly. That is it. Next matchup though, Kanye West versus Tyler the Creator.
I love them both for sure. It's kind of a hard decision, but at the same time, it's kind of not for me anyway. But like we were saying earlier, I think we're on like the tail end of Kanye's career in the last 10 years, and Tyler is going nowhere but up. He's really not going anywhere but up. Everything is getting better. No matter what he drops, it's going to be, something that you're going to love from the first listen. You get sucked in real quick. And I haven't been feeling like that with the Kanye album coming out. Like if Kanye announced that he was going to drop today and Tyler did the same thing, I'm honestly probably going to go to that Tyler album first. I really might. Same. So I'm taking Tyler.
This is one where it's like the same thing with Drake. If we're talking full careers, it's going to be a different story, but we're probably missing Kanye's top 5 albums here. I mean, we can argue however you want to. Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, you're missing his top 5.
Yeah, for sure.
Ye's a great album to me. I mean, I know you don't vibe with it as much, Jonathan, but I pass Ye.
Yeah.
Yeezus as well, but still, that's all. You could argue that one.
Yeah, I love The Life of Pablo. It's definitely higher than top 5 for me personally. But other than that, he doesn't have a project that's on the level of really any of the projects, excluding, I'll say, Cherry Bomb, that Tyler's put out in the past decade. Anything post Cherry Bomb. So Flower Boy, Igor, and Call Me If You Get Lost, I don't think anything besides The Life of Pablo is on that level. I'm going Tyler here. This is a surprising one as well. Obviously, if we're talking full careers, it's Kanye. Tyler hasn't done enough to surpass Kanye, but we're talking the last 10 years. And like you said, Kanye trending downward, Tyler rapid trending upward. So it's got to be him here. As crazy as it is to take Kanye out, got to be T.
That's Drake and Kanye back to back getting kicked out of the bracket. This is not how I expected this to go. For real. It's not
the difference. That's the difference between doing the last 10 years and doing the 2010s.
100%.
That is the key pivotal difference.
Because those early 2010 years were fucking heaters for those boys that we just kicked out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And we could do the 2010s in the future still. I mean, that's definitely still an option because that changes things a lot. Yeah, that may be, but that does change things a lot. So different conversation for a different day, but we're talking last 10 years. So Tyler, I love it. Next matchup, final matchup here of the Elite Eight, Vince Staples versus Kendrick Lamar.
I'll give Vince his flowers. You made it here. You made it to the Elite Eight, but I mean, it's Kendrick Lamar. This is, one of the heavy hitters. Obviously, you're still missing Good Kid, Mad City, and Section 80, but I still got to give him the nod.
Yep. Yeah, no matter how great the run that Vince has been on, he's still just in the shadow a little bit, but he's coming though. He for sure is, but we got to take Kendrick for sure.
Got to be Kendrick. Yep. Not much else needs to be said there. Let's get into this final 4. First matchup, we got J. Cole versus Travis Scott.
I'm just going to start off with, I'm rocking with my boy Jermaine till I die. Like, let's be real. I mean, we're not even missing that many of J. Cole's, real good projects. Yeah, we're missing some early EPs, some early mixtapes that are great in their own, in their own way. But if we're really talking about J. Cole's best albums, they have came out in the last 10 years. That is what's been happening, you know. Yeah, like KOD was for sure a little smudge in J. Cole's discography. But other than that, name something that he's missed on, you know, name something that wasn't up to par with everything that he's trying to do, you know, every project that he's putting out. I just can't see how you're gonna take you know, Jermaine over Travis in this situation. I just don't see it.
Is it four solo albums a piece? So it'd be Born Sinner, Forest Hills, For Your Eyes Only, KOD,
and the offseason.
And the offseason.
Versus
so 5.
Utopia, Astroworld, Rodeo.
I got them.
Birds. Damn, this is tough. This is the toughest one I've had here.
We get a random Jack Boys and Huncho Jack in there as well.
Yeah, and we got Revenge of the Dreamers as well. Yeah, so I feel like those kind of not cancel out.
They do. Though.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go with who has the best album here. Astroworld's the best album out of all of those.
Whoa! So I got the
side out of all of them. Out of all of them.
And just to touch, Astroworld's the best to me, and Rodeo's. I mean, Rodeo may not be the top out of all these albums here, but Rodeo and Astroworld are on par with each other.
But so is 2014 Forest Hills Drive.
Oh my god!
For Your Eyes Only too.
Yeah, I was about to say.
This is the hardest matchup, no question.
Okay.
It's so different. They're such different artists.
But if you look at the other albums that J. Cole put out, like, you know, that aren't 2014 Forest Hill Drives or For Your Eyes Only, they are better than the other albums that Travis put out.
I think you have your two elite albums here. Yes. You have 2014 and For Your Eyes Only, undoubtedly. You have Astroworld and Rodeo, undoubtedly. And then you put KOD and the off season against Birds and Utopia.
And Born Sinner. And the
Born Center, yeah.
Which I think picks up a lot of slack, in my opinion. I love the album, The Born Center. There's so many good songs on there. It's ridiculous.
When did Days Before Rodeo release? Was that 2014?
2014, yes. We get
that. So, I mean, we're throwing that in there as well. Like, it's razor tight. So, I mean, Jonathan, you decided.
Yeah, this is on you. This is on you, on for real.
This is crazy. They really are so different. J. Cole, lyricism, thought-provoking messages, all that kind of stuff. Travis, energy, beat selection, production, all these things. They're so different. They really bring different things to the table. This is almost like a coin flip for me. I'm stuck because it is so close between Rodeo, which I think is Travis's best project, and 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Man, I think if we're talking rap, I have to go with J. Cole.
Respect. You can't even be mad at an answer for, like, you know, Travis going out or you know, vice versa. So
I think everyone made a real good fucking case, yeah, against, like, you know, whoever they were supporting for, because it is hard to pick. It really, I'm not even the biggest Travis Scott fan, but I can admit that the man for the, you know, the last 10 years has been doing what he needs to do. Obviously, you know, he's bigger. He just keeps getting bigger, you know, besides the little mishap he had at his concert. That was unfortunate. But other than that, there's nothing has gone bad for him in his career the last 10 years. For real, it's been nothing but good things for him.
Because that's what I was going to say. Like, I feel like each of them has taken a little bit of a hiatus. Like, there's a little bit of a couple year gap where they've been quiet. Travis since Astroworld to now. And then that's a longer hiatus than J. Cole's had in the last 10 years too. So for consistency's sake, I'm going to go J. Cole, although he is a little bit quiet sometimes. It's a tough matchup, but yeah, I really think coin flip. We're going J. Cole, though. Let's get into the last matchup of the Final Four. Tyler, the Creator versus Kendrick Lamar. I'm going to say something crazy. I'm going Tyler here. We lose out on Section 80 and we lose out on Good Kid, Mad City. Kendrick has great projects, some of the best of the decade, but I think Tyler does too. And, you know, Igor to me is one of the best albums of the decade. Call Me If You Get Lost and Flower Boy are both amazing. And Kendrick in the last decade has To Pimp a Butterfly that's at that level, probably above that level, to be honest. But then the other projects, Tyler's beaten him. So it's like Kendrick has the best, Tyler has the next three, and then we get Kendrick. And so for that reason, go on Tyler.
Yeah, I really don't think you could have said that better, to be honest. That's exactly what I was thinking. I think Good Kid, Mad City is my favorite Kendrick album ever, and it not being, in this bracket like that, not being able to add to his discography or whatever right now, it's hurting him bad for me wanting to pick him. And
Yep.
I've been praising Tyler this whole time, and I'm gonna keep doing it because he just keeps proving himself. Really, every time he drops something, he just keeps getting better. And I think he's ready to, cross over into the I am one of the greats, and I will be one of the greats forever.
Yeah, I mean, obviously over here, not a huge Tyler guy, but I mean, respect what he's put out, and I mean, I agree with you there, Brennan. Losing out on Good Kid,
Yeah,
that really seals it.
It does.
So we're going Tyler. I love it.
I think Tyler's
another one kind of surprising.
For real.
Which is going to lead us into a very interesting championship matchup: J. Cole versus Tyler the Creator. I'll kick it off here. I'm going Tyler. I am going Tyler. I think J. Cole has 1 to 2 albums that are really great in the decade, and Tyler has at least 3. So for that reason, I think Tyler. I also think it's great that we've really got to see growth, and there's been an arc to what we've seen from Tyler in the decade. We saw, Wolf, which was like the start of him maturing a little bit and his polishing his sound a little bit. And then Cherry Bomb, where he's experimenting and kind of figuring things out. And then we get 3 just fantastic albums where he has figured it out. And those 3 albums are elite J. Cole, elite projects, elite artist. But like I said earlier, every artist in this bracket is very good, but I didn't think Tyler was going to be my pick to win the bracket when we started this, but the more and more we talk about it, the clearer it becomes that it's Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta go with J. Cole here personally. I'm gonna skip ahead of Brennan here to make him the final decision maker here.
Our guest. Okay.
Yeah, but so I mean, kind of to bring it back to the Travis Scott point there. Travis had the collab albums with Quavo and then Jack Boys. J. Cole still got the Revenge of the Dreamers. So he has those. And True. Then this feature run in the past 4 or 5 years has just been fucking insane. Wow. We talk about it every time he is featured on a track. J. Cole is the hottest rapper in the game. And he has that 5 years beforehand where he still has 2014 Forest Hills Drive. He still has For Your Eyes Only. And he still has Born Center, which is, I mean, it's not at the level of the previous 2, but it's still a great project. And
you kind of made me think when you started bringing the features in here. I'm still going to stick with Tyler, but the features really do change the game a little bit. And
let me have my last closing point here to you, Brennan. Are we here right now if we didn't do that J. Cole project, freshman year English?
Man, I mean, after putting that nail in the coffin right there at the end, I don't see it any other way. Let's be real. It's J. Cole. Yeah, it was always going to be Jermaine, man. You can obviously Tyler's, an amazing artist, and I've been talking him up this whole entire time, but what am I listening to more? J. Cole started me on rap. The first song I ever listened to that I would consider a rap song was No Role Models by J. Cole. And I swear to God, I listened to it like 8 times in a row after the first time I listened to it. And I've been hooked ever since. I've never not seen J. Cole's name and was drawn to it. He is for sure my number 1 90% of the time. For sure my number 1 90% of the time.
I can't be mad. I cannot be mad at that. I
respect your decision though.
For the most part in this bracket, there were probably 6 people that I've been happy with them winning. J. Cole, one of them. Obviously, I went with Tyler. I listened to him more, so that's kind of my case as well. But congrats to J. Cole, best artist of the last decade. You love to see it. Yeah, he definitely deserves it. 2014 Forest Hills Drive is a great project. He's had a lot of other great projects, great moments, so can't be mad at that. I want people to fill out their brackets though and let us know who they have winning, because this could be so many different ways. I think we're up to the polls on Instagram and we're going to see who the community decides is the best rapper of the decade.
And I mean, that little pitch there, I knew Brennan was picking J. Cole. There was no fucking doubt in my mind. That pitch was for y'all. Think about what I just fucking said there. So
yeah,
it's a hard bracket, man. It really is. After looking at it, this is not how I expected it to end at all, to be honest. I expected Ye up there. I expected Kendrick up there. I expected Drake for sure in the final 4 at the very least. But I mean, that's why I love coming on here and listening to you guys, because it really does expand how I think about music and what I'm listening to and stuff like that. So for you people out there, you need to tune in, all right? Because my playlist has never been better.
I love it.
But yeah, I think that's about it. Brennan, it was great having you on. Jonathan, any closing thoughts for you?
I'll say I thought Kendrick was going to win the whole thing. Surprised he didn't, but J. Cole, a valid winner as well.
Yeah.
It was very fun doing this. Let us know who you guys had winning this bracket. We'll be back next week with a new episode. We'll see you guys later. Peace.